Remember just a few months ago, we had Trump saying this.
Reverend for the Times of Israel, the IDF is fighting again in the Gaza Strip. I myself might be called up in a month. Do you think that's the way to pressure Hamas to get to a deal? And do you think blocking humanitarian aid is also an effective pressure tactic?
Well, you know how I feel about the Gaza Strip. I think it's an incredible piece of important real estate, and I think it's something that we would be involved in, but, having a peace force like the United States there, controlling and owning the Gaza Strip would be a good thing. Because right now, all it is for years and years, all I hear about is killing and Hamas and problems. And if you take the people, the Palestinians, and move them around to different countries, and you have plenty of countries that will do that, and you really have a freedom zone. You call it the freedom zone, a free zone, a zone where people aren't going to be killed every day. That's a hell of a place. It's you know what I call it, a great location that nobody wants to live in, because they really don't. And when they have good living, real living, where Hamas and all of the problems they have, the level of death on the Gaza Strip is just incredible. And I've said it. I don't understand why Israel ever gave it up. Israel owned it. It wasn't this man, so I can say it. He wouldn't have given it up. I know him very well. There's no way. They took oceanfront property and they gave it to people for peace. How did that work out? Not good.
And then we had J.D. Vance saying this about Jared Kushner a few months later.
Well, Jared's the investor here. I'm not going to give you a percentage, but look, what we've seen the past week gives me great optimism the ceasefire is going to hold. And if we get from where we were a week ago to a long-term durable peace between Israel and Gaza, there are going to be hills and valleys. There are going to be moments where it looks like things aren't going particularly well. But given that, and given the history of conflict, I think that everybody should be proud of where we are today.
I think it's important to know that to every single person who said that the United States was not going to get more involved with Israel and Palestine, hate to break it to you, now troops are now going to be headed to Gaza. The Middle East Monitor reports the U.S. plans to build a $500 million military base in Israel near the Gaza border to oversee the implementation of the ceasefire agreement in the Palestinian enclave, Israeli media said Tuesday. Anadolu reports. The Daily Yedioth Ahronoth, citing anonymous Israeli officials, said Washington seeks to establish a large military base in the Gaza border area, which would mark a significant escalation of U.S. activity in Israel. The base would be housing an international task force, which was agreed to be formed under the Gaza ceasefire agreement to monitor the implementation of the truce inside the enclave, the sources said. Several thousand U.S. soldiers will be stationed in the base, they said. According to the newspaper, the project would be the first large-scale American military installation on Israeli territory, underscoring a deepening U.S. commitment to post-war stabilization efforts in Gaza. During Tel Aviv's 2 years of war in Gaza, the U.S. installed a THAAD missile defense system, which was used in the interception of Iranian missiles and drones during the 12-day conflict with Israel, it added. The establishment of an American base on Israeli soil shows just how determined Washington is to be involved in Gaza and the broader Israeli-Palestinian conflict, an Israeli official told The Daily. This is really fucking bad. People are not going to like this in America. Israel's already fucking despised because of the genocide. People are already upset, and now you're sending thousands of troops to Israel to defend Palestinians and Israelis. People are not going to like this. This is not a good look. I mean, no one gives a fuck about what the American base wants. No one gives a fuck, but this is really harmful. I have a feeling also that there's going to be another attack on Iran. That's why they're putting thousands of troops in Israel to defend Israel against Iran.